Hello everybody, it's Chong here. How are you guys doing? I think we are on live. Welcome to this week's Facebook Live teaching, where we are going to dive into a really interesting topics today: how to get unstuck and lose the first 5 kilos of your weight while you are trying to conceive. Now, if you're listening in live right now, please drop a comment down below and let me know where you are listening in from. I would love to say hi to you. Alright, so if this is the first time you watch our weekly Facebook Live teaching, just in case you miss it, in our previous 2 live teaching classes, we actually walk you through what are the food you need to avoid while you're trying to get pregnant, and also the food you need to focus on while you are trying to conceive. So make sure you watch the replay list if you're interested to listening to these 2 topics. And if you haven't heard about or joined our fertility diet challenge, please go to my website catherinechong.com.au/fertility diet challenge, where you will see the information about our amazing fertility diet challenge. You will receive a 5 days meal plan, grocery shopping list, as well as all the recipe done for you to help you to boost the fertility with real food. So if you're interested to join our challenge will start every Monday, and I'll be there with you every day to give you the accountable and to coach you through during the challenge week. So join me now and go to catherinechong.com.au/fertility diet challenge. Now, today we are going to talk about a topic which is how to get unstuck and to lose the first 5 kilos before your pregnancy. And the reason why I'm doing this episode is because we are at the year end. And one of the exercises that I love doing every year with my clients and all of our email subscribers that are in our community is to really sit down, set some time to think about what is your goal in the next year or the first quarter of the year. Now, if you haven't thought of it before, or if you haven't done any goal setting exercise or yearly review plan like this before, make sure you stick around today's episode, because I'm going to share with you some simple strategy, simple step to help you to become more clear about your goals, and also the action step to help you to achieve your goal. Okay, so like I said before, last week I sent out an email to all of our email subscribers and asked them what are their goals in the coming year. And a lot of them actually replied me and saying that, Catherine, I have been trying to get pregnant for many years. I tried to eat healthy, but in fact my biggest struggle is I want to lose weight. I'm just not able to get results. So I thought that today I want to dedicate this episode to walk you through some simple strategies and exercise that I teach my clients as well in my clinic, so you can also learn some of the steps to help you to become more clear and start to form the action plan. So 2021 is the year for you, and I want you to finally achieve the result that you have hoping to get. All right. Now, before we dive into some strategies, I want to walk you through again some reason behind why is weight so important while we're trying to conceive. We are not, talking about losing weight here today just to make ourselves feel good, but we are really want to focus on improving our health and to improve our weight before pregnancy. And one of the biggest reasons why is because research shows that if you carry excessive weight before entering a pregnancy, it can put you at a highest risk of pregnancy complications. So as much as possible, if you can, is to achieve the ideal or healthy pregnancy weight, pre-pregnancy weight, that would be ideal. But in fact, we are not just talking about excessive weight here. So in fact, weighing too much, or if you don't gain enough of body fat, can both impact your fertility and can interrupt your regular menstrual cycles, your ovulating patterns, for example, especially if you suffer from polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, which is very common that you not experience a regular patterns of menstrual cycle or ovulating pattern. So if you do carry excessive weight, or if you're not having the ideal level of body fat, it can all impact your women hormones and hence your period cycle. So that is one of the reasons why weight is essential in terms of the fertility perspective. We just got to make sure that we are taking the step to make sure we are able to optimize the weight before the pregnancy. So my foundation goal here that I'm gonna teach you today is we are not aiming to do any crash diet. We're not aiming to lose a big amount of weight here. But it's all about doing things that making sure that your body is prepared to improve the quality of your eggs, as well as making sure that you have a healthy and safe pregnancy. That's the most our ultimate goal for you. And for those of you who are trying to get pregnant, of course, my goal for you is to help you to optimize the chances of pregnancy. And hopefully, starting the new year, you will have a new baby pretty soon. Okay, so today I want to dive into a little bit further to the system that I teach with my private clients. So other than focusing the right diets, the right diet plan, meal plan that we have touched through in the previous 2 weeks of Facebook Live classes. So today I'm going to teach you the system that help you to success, that help you to get the result that you have been dreaming about. Okay, so number one, what you need to do is you need to make it clear. Okay, so what I mean here is that you need to ask yourself this question: what are your goals? What are your goals? So you need to be intentional about the food that you choose every day in order to make this goal. So don't wait till the new year starts. In fact, you can actually grab a pen and paper right now as you're watching this live. Just write it down. What are your goals, right? And don't make it complicated. I just want you to focus on your 3 big goals for the first quarter of the year, from January to March 2021. What are your 3 biggest goals that you would like to focus right now? So for example, if you have been trying to get pregnant and at the same time you would like to lose some weight, you want to make sure that you are writing down the goals that's more realistic and it's measurable as well. So you could write something like, say by March next year, 2021, I want to lose the first 5 kilos, or I want to lose the first 10 kilos. Now, the key thing is don't just focus on the big goal, right? It's a bit hard to kind of convert into action step if you just visualize in 3 months. I want you to break it down into weekly goals. Say for example, if your goal is to lose the first 5 kilos by March 2021, so you got to make sure that every week you need to write it down. Every week you need to make sure that you are losing that half a kilo of body weight, every body fat every week. So can you see that is much easier to measure on a weekly basis, and it will help you. It will be so easier for you to visualize it and also to monitor your progress. Now, the other typical example that I receive from my client is they always say to me, Catherine, I want to eat healthy. Now, eat healthy can be a little bit too broad. So I always challenge my client a step further. What exactly is, in terms of diet, they want to improve? Say I have clients have been eating like, say, 5 days of Uber Eats every night. So what exactly we're doing here is we want to minimize the Uber Eats and try to get her to cook more often. So in fact, the goals for her in this case is by the end of January, I am going to cook at least 4 times a week. And then the goal would be, by the end of January, I'm going to only limit Uber Eats less than twice a week. Can you see the difference? It is much measurable right now, and it's so easy to track your progress every week. And if at any time, if you're not meeting your goals every week, that's when we can tweak around and also discuss different strategies to make sure that you are right on track, meeting your ideal goal. Alright, so that's step number 1. And step number 2, what I'm going to share with you is you've got to make sure is attractive enough for you to follow through. Okay, so how do we make a meal plan or a goal setting plan attractive, right? You might be wondering. It can be seems quite boring, or it can be seems like quite restrictive when we're talking about diet plan. In fact, you might be surprised. So this is what I will also do with my client as well, is we will set time during our consultation, but we'll also like to, help them to plan exactly their weekly meal plan. So what you need to do here is you need to start setting a time for yourself and sit down, plan your weekly meal. Just like anything, if you can't plan it, you can't visualize it, it's so hard for you to take action. So step number 2, make it attractive, is I want you to set a time every week. It could be just like a 10 minutes activity to decide on. You can just write down in a simple paper or in a blank meal planning template to decide on how many days you want to cook, what type of recipe you would enjoy and yet it's still relatively healthy, how many days you would also like to schedule your kind of treat meals or treat foods, or maybe it's the time that you have a day out with your family meal, for example. So you've got to make it attractive enough for you to follow, and also consider to balance off with your lifestyle, your work, and also your family commitment. So often, like I say, this is one of the key things that I will work through with my clients. So we're not just, telling client what you can eat, what you can't eat, but the biggest part is really the strategies planning, where to work out what, clients can have, in how the ideal weekly meal plan looks like, helping you to source suitable healthy recipe that can fit into your weight loss plan, the right amount of nutrition value or calories, as well as thinking about the food, the quality of the foods and diet to help you to boost your eggs health and also for your fertility and to balance off your women's hormone. So you've got to make sure that every week you are doing this 10 minutes to 15 minutes of exercise here. And to think about as well is to schedule a day that you're more likely to do it is for your grocery shopping, and also make a commitment with your partner or your family together to make it happen. So for example, for me myself, every Saturday night I have a magnetic whiteboard that will stick on my fridge, so I will actually write down my weekly dinner meal. Write down to mix a different mix of dishes they would like to cook throughout the week, and also I will also set time every Saturday. I will go out to buy my grocery shopping. If not, I will do it on every Sunday as well. That is something that I have been doing for more than a year now. It never changed, so I always got all the food and ingredient ready for the whole week. So if you haven't have a right routine, haven't had the right system here, it's not too late. So I want you to start thinking about how you can form a system, even either by yourself or your family member, and try to plan a meal that's attractive enough for you to enjoy and follow it through. Alright, now the next thing, which is the last step that I want to share with you today, is how to make it easy. This is so important when you're trying to change your diet, when you're trying to lose weight, when you try to get healthy, to eat better, to boost your fertility. It's so common that a lot of you might be thinking right now is, okay, which diet you should be on. Should I go on intermittent fasting? Should I go on low carbs, keto? Or should I eliminate this or that? The truth is, the more thinking you are doing, the less likely you're going to take real actions, because most likely you'll end up feeling confused, or you might get started for about, say, a month and then just give up because it's too hard. So what I want you to do in this case is you got to really stay focused. Again, think back, look back what you have written down. What is your goal? What is your goal? And also, how can you make it easy enough to do it consistently every day for the next 30 or the next 90 days, right? So we're going to focus on progression. We're not talking about a perfect diet. It just all matters doing every day 1% better, and you will eventually get there. So in this scenario here, I want you to think about is, what is your morning routine? What is your evening routine? Because the truth is, the environment, the lifestyle surround you, and also your habits for your morning and also evening habits can impact the way you eat largely. Okay, so for example, I want you to think about your morning routine. Are you having the right, start of the day? So what time do you get up from the bed? Are you always in a rush? Feeling stressed in the morning? Is it why you skip breakfast? Or do you need a better morning routine to get you, with the right mood and energy starting the day? So what you can do in this case is, if you're often rushing, you might want to just write it down as one of your goals here, is to set yourself to get up from the bed 30 minutes early as a start, and eventually get up an hour earlier, so then you actually have the extra time to maybe perhaps look into, going to do some exercise, going to the gym, so you can get the exercise box a big ticks, or to just spending more time to really prepare your breakfast and also your snack and lunch for the day, so it's all ready for the day that you don't need to worry about. So personally, I like to wake up early in the morning, usually 4:30 a.m. if I can, but if not 5:30, it's my kind of daily routine. And because I know that if I wake up later than my kids and my husband, I am not gonna get anything organized, and I just feel so bad mood. So I like to be the first one to wake up in my family, and what I like to do before I turn into social media, emails or news, I actually would turn on my favorite podcasts, that listening into motivational podcasts, get myself a coffee, and I will also sit down and to look back at the journal and the goal that I set for myself, and just to remind me that, okay, these are the weekly goals that I would like to achieve, and also my daily goal. What do I need to do intentionally today to help me to get there? So this is something that you can also start doing. And I say, by just setting yourself, waking up 30 minutes earlier, by just, focus on things that are going to make you happy. First thing in the morning, that's matter you the most, right? Don't worry about, the emails and social media, because that is not your goal here. So that is something that I want you to start doing, is to have a better morning routine, and just start with 3 simple things that you can do to meet your goal. Now, while we're talking about the morning routine, don't forget evening routine. It's really important as well. So are you always sleeping late? Do you often, for example, crave for certain food, or do you munch on any snack food while you're watching TV or Netflix? Or are you just simply lying down too much and not doing any activity, for example, or are you screaming, more on the social media at night time? And it will impact on your feeling, how you feel before you end your day as well. So things like that, it may seem simple, but believe me or not, it can influence your health, your sleep quality, your mood, your stress, and how you feel. And at the end of it, all of these little factors can all impact how you eat. So if your goal is if you're trying to lose weight, you want to eat better, to boost your fertility in preparation for pregnancy, setting the right evening routine to end your day, it's extremely important as well. So what I want you to do here is just by setting yourself, maybe to start with, to go to the bed an hour earlier. That could also kind of prevent you overeating at night as well. If you are someone who often stay up late and more likely to, to feel hungry as you are working through or watching TV, by setting yourself a limit, say for example, no food after 8 p.m. or reduce the screen time on your TV and go to bed early, that could also help you to manage your hunger and prevent overeating and overconsumptions of your calorie intakes. Now, the other things that you can do as well in your evening routine is to make sure that you check that you have all the food ready for the next day, and you kind of already written down or in your mind what you're gonna eat intentionally for next day to help to encourage more healthy food intake. And while you're preparing your bed as well, I personally would like to listen to some relaxing music in the Spotify. My favorite one is called Baby Sleep. Even though it's for baby, but it still helps me to, relax and put me to bed all the time. So you've got to start to think what are the things that can help you to sleep better. So then the next day, you actually wake up and full of energy and ready to take charge of the day again. Alright, so I hope that today you have learned some strategies in addition to the diet plan that can help you to just get unstuck and to lose the 5 kilos of your weight. So let's just recap everything that we have taught today. The first one is make sure that you make it clear. So if you haven't done your review planning for 2021, now is the time. So make sure that you need to make it clear, set a measurable and realistic goal for 2021, and you can just start by writing it down, your 3 big goals for January to March, so it's easier for you to get started and to track the progress. And number 2 is to make it attractive, so how you can set some time to really think through what type of meals you would like to have every week, setting the time for meal planning, grocery shopping, or thinking about whether or not you want to see a dietitian like myself as well to help you to work together to source suitable food products for you, and also to save you time for all doing the meal planning. So something for you to think about the new year. And number 3 is how to make it easy and simple enough for you to take consistent action. And remember, we are not aiming for perfection. So we are focusing on progress, okay? So just 1% better every day and you will eventually meet your goal here. Alright, then enough for today's. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you again next week.